So I'm very available for anyone that would like to talk about the issues. If you'd like me to come speak with your group or just chat with you, I'm really happy to do so. Well, for our campaign for soil and water conservation district here in Orange County, the challenge, and I'll admit it, during the pandemic, how do we go out and meet voters? So definitely a challenge. So I thank you for having me here on your show. Hopefully we'll be able to connect with you.
If you want to be a winner, you have to be a fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, namaskar and welcome. It's me, Mahalaxmi. You are watching the Mahalaxmi show. Today we will talk with a candidate of Orange County Soil and Water Supervisor, Mr. Bobby Agagnina. Mr. Bobby, welcome to the Mahalaxmi show.
Thank you for having me. Really a pleasure to be here.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So how is everything going on with you?
Sure, yes. So back in May, I announced my candidacy for the Orange County Soil and Water Supervisor, seat 1 position. The position is countywide, so anyone registered in Orange County can vote in the election. It's a November election. And, we're out here, I guess this is in our new normal now. We're meeting voters here in an online platform to get our message out about how we can best serve our community and protect our environment in Orange County.
So, Mr. Bobby, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm a native, born and raised Central Floridian. There's not too many of us, right? Born and raised in Orlando. I am a teacher. I just finished my 10th year teaching at Lake Howell High School in Winter Park, Florida. I also serve as a vice president for the Seminole Education Association, which is our teachers union, and a candidate, as I've said, for the Orange County Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor. I was the first in my family to attend college and graduate. I did my undergrad at the University of North Florida, where I have a bachelor's in English. And then I went on to earn a master's degree in educational leadership at the University of West Florida. And happy to be here.
So why are you running for this position?
Sure. So what I found in my whole life, I've always tried to serve others. And for this position, for quite a while, a lot of the supervisors do not even attend meetings. The position is unpaid. They don't have a staff. There's no budget for soil and water. But as a teacher, I'm used to engaging and educating at a high level without much funding, unfortunately. So I saw this as an opportunity to speak about issues that I care about, that the community cares about. Like I would say, I promoted our SERVE plan, which is to support the protection of our wetlands and native areas from big developers. Currently in Orange County, developers are giving a blank check to destroy a lot of our ecosystems and our environment, and at what cost? Like, this must stop. I believe as an educator that we can educate and work with the school board, as I'm uniquely qualified to do, to work with other educators to provide educational opportunities in conservation, in agriculture, as agriculture is one of the leading businesses here in our state. I also believe in restoring the public trust of this board, and I think we can do that by having leaders and people like myself step up into these roles and work with the community. I believe in the value of the work of our farm workers and our farmers. And as you know now, that our state hasn't even provided the correct emergency assistance to many of our farm workers, and they continue to put them at risk. So this is something a soil and water supervisor can do, is to advocate for these needs to the county commissioners. And then lastly, I would say we need to engage our community. Currently, the meetings are held on the second Friday of the month at 3:30 in downtown Orlando. For any working person, this is going to be a challenge for them to attend these meetings. So I would look at options maybe of moving the meeting time, changing the location, so that we can include all voices to better serve our community.
So, Mr. Bobby, how is your campaign different from other candidates who are running for the same position?
Sure. So I think for me, I'm the only educator in our race, and a large component of this seat is to educate the community and educate our Board of County Commissioners on best practices for soil management and water conservation. So as the only certified educator, I think that really distinguishes me differently. And then my track record on the many boards that I serve on, you know, I always say that I don't do this for a paycheck or attention. I'm honestly here to help. So for me, uniquely qualified for all my leadership experience. I'm an Eagle Scout, which none of my, to my knowledge, no one in my race is either. And my Eagle Scout project back as a young person right here, it was actually in Maitland, right here in Central Florida, is that we built nests for eagles at the Birds of Prey, Audubon Birds of Prey Center in Maitland. So I do have a record on protecting the environment, unlike anyone else in my race.
So if you win, what better you will do than current supervisor?
Sure. So I think number one, we're going to show up to the meetings, right? That's a huge issue. And I've talked about announcing different policies and programs. Like a number one priority for me is to make sure that we put together a task force to study the negative effects of environmental racism in Orange County. This is a continuing problem, and with more like the I-4 Ultimate Project is a lead example of this. We need to study this and advise the Board of County Commissioners on the devastating impacts of environmental racism. Additionally, climate change is real, people caused it, and it is a huge threat to us, especially being in Florida. So we need to promote best practices, how we can maintain our community here from the effects from climate change.
So do you have any related experience which can help to hold this position?
So for me, I would say my work with the Birds of Prey Center as an Eagle Scout. As an undergrad at the University of North Florida, I joined with a group called, so our mascot, just a little backtrack, our mascot at UNF were the Ospreys. So there was a group called the Green Ospreys, and I stood with them, and we lobbied our school leadership to make sure, because UNF sits on a nature preserve, they were trying to build some kind of new building, and it was going to endanger a lot of the turtles that lived there in their environment. So what we did, we lobbied and won to make sure that this development did not endanger the turtles and actually preserved the natural habitat there in Jacksonville. And then I would speak to, right, my 10 years as an educator, and then my leadership position on multiple community boards where I serve.
So, Mr. Bobby, is this a first step for your future political career?
No, so I don't think so. You know, I saw the need, and that's what I'm about. I saw the need to jump in and to help others. And, you know, I'm not somebody that is planning, right, 10 political moves ahead. I always have to say that I'm not a politician, but it's kind of disingenuous if you're running for a political office, right? There has to be some kind of political aspiration. But for me, and why I wanted to do this was to serve our community in the best possible way. And I thought this was a great opportunity.
So then, what is your main priority?
I would say my main priority for this board is, as an educator, to rely on that experience and to educate our community on the issues that farmers can use for best practices, and then take all of these great experts, come to a consensus, and, you know, have studies and bring them to the Board of County Commissioners for guidance, because they ultimately would take this into consideration. And so in my opinion, I think that's a big piece to restore the public trust on what our board will do. And I think I'm uniquely qualified to do it.
So, do you want to tell something to people why they need to vote for you?
Sure, thank you. So I would say that earning somebody's vote is very sacred to me. It's an honor to ask to earn your vote and support. For me, I'm going to rely on my experience, being born and raised from here, my leadership experience in the community, my 10 years as an educator, as the only one certified and qualified to take this board to where it should be.
So, Mr. Bobby, you are a teacher and you are a
Yes.
leader and you do already so many things. By the way, what is your future goal?
I would say a future goal, right, to win the election on November 3rd. That would be wonderful. Currently, right, we're in discussions for the new school year. So, they always say teachers are off the whole summer. Yes. But, we're already thinking about planning and what to do next. I think for the future for our community at large is that I really hope that everybody just stays safe and that we can just get through this pandemic together.
So, Bobby, we are almost in of the interview. So, one more question for you. So, are you a social worker or politician? I mean, you want to be a social worker or politician?
Yeah, so I'd much rather work with the community, not a politician. And I really want to show people, especially in this seat, right? There's no pay associated with this. I really want people to go, there's our soil and water supervisor. He's doing this because he cares. He shows up and he's available for me and listens to me. And I think all of our future elected officials should be in the mindset of serving others and not to be served instead.
So, do you want to tell anything to our audience?
So if you would love to, you can follow us on our social media pages, Bobby Agagnina, Agagnina for Orange, and that's on Facebook, and then Bobby for Soil on Twitter. You can email me, agagninaforange@gmail.com, or you can call me, and my number's right there on the Facebook, and it goes right to my phone. So I'm very available for anyone that would like to talk about the issues. If you'd like me to come speak with your group or just chat with you, I'm really happy to do so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bobby, being a part of Mahalaxmi show. Best of luck for your election.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. I can't wait to come back.
Sure. Anytime. Thank you very much watching the Mahalaxmi show. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, try to do best, try to be safe. Whenever you go out, wear masks. And whenever you back home, wash your hand, stay healthy and happy. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe our channel. Namaskar. Bye-bye.